I'm sure this touches a lot of people. Having too much Ryobi, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Does it even matter? What does Ryobi even have to offer in the detailing world?
This is a good one because just Ryobi itself is a controversial.
It's a bad name.
You tell you go to certain people. Ryobi.
You go
tell a Milwaukee man.
Go tell a 50-year-old man and over about Ryobi.
You don't want to hear it.
You talk about Craftsman and all that. They're like, Ryobi, get that junk out of here.
Well, especially somebody that's worked with in construction, landscaping, any real kind of like where you need power tools.
Industrial tools.
Yeah, lumber. If you're working with that stuff, you ain't fucking with no Ryobi. That's more DIY. That's like the
homeowner.
Yes, exactly. I fuck with Ryobi because I'm not getting down. I ain't building nothing. You know what I'm saying? Those I'm sure Ralda ain't using Ryobi. I'm sure Revive and Gian ain't using no Ryobi. You know, if the guys that are really constructing some shit, they're not depending on Ryobi for a couple reasons. First of all, I don't think that's their target market, right? No. It's not the professional, right?
No.
Because their shit's pretty weak when it comes to a lot of the power.
There's a time and place for Ryobi.
Yeah. That's in the garage.
Yeah. Time and place, early in the morning.
Yeah. So when guys see us with the Ryobi stuff, they're kind of like, if it's a professional's like, you're using Ryobi, it's like, yeah, we tried the big boy. We tried the one that's dedicated, that was made for the industry, the leading one, which the big boy is great. Big boy is great for studio. Big boy, but if you're trying to be mobile with it, we don't want a cord, we don't want lines. There's a whole bunch of stuff we don't want.
Man, that big boy takes a lot of juice.
Yeah, it does.
That takes a lot of juice, man.
And it's loud. And it's loud.
But it works.
It works really, really good. I bet if we used it right now, we'd be like, damn, I missed this thing. If it could just be smaller, quieter, something, then it may. And that was one we fought with for a long time to switch over. So people are going crazy over the Ryobi stuff. So we've recently tried a few new Ryobi things, and one of them actually hit the top list for us this year. And that one was... And we'll link all of these down in the description. We'll tag all of these. It was this one here. This is going to be the brushless blower. Sal, let them know. Let them know why we have this in Ryobi.
Well, number one, you see how small this box is? This is like the biggest reason why we put this thing into our van. This thing right here. You figure we went from the big boy to this. Big difference.
Huge.
Big difference in space because the big boy has that hose. We had the extended hose with the 30-foot hose.
I think it extends to like 40 or something.
So that took up a lot of space, and we were moving things in the van just to accommodate the big boy blower. But we seen a couple reviews on these. And then my man went to Home Depot and said, I just got it. And then we had all these extra batteries because, again, talking about Ryobi and home ownership, I have the Ryobi, the weed eater. The Ryobi weed eater. So I have the battery. And then we used to run with the Ryobi,
the air compressor, the 1 gallon air compressor.
Yeah. So we had all these extra Ryobi batteries, and we had the big ones,
the big ones,
the ones they don't make no more, where you can't find no more.
Yeah, it's like a brick.
And so,
and all those batteries were expensive.
Yes,
and that's another reason where we're like, okay, we got to utilize these batteries somehow. But I'll let you continue. I just wanted to put that in.
So this thing right here fits. We were able to get out the big boy. The big boy took a whole section of the van to replace that with this gun.
And there was a Big Boy Blower Pro because Big Boy has a few different ones. So it was the biggest one, their highest offering and most powerful one with the dual motors. So that's the one we're talking about when we say the big boy.
And we only use this for the cracks and crevices and to get the wheels and tires dry. And it's powerful enough to get all that stuff done.
it beat out the big boy in a lot of areas. Weight, size, it's cordless. The one thing it didn't beat it in is performance. But the performance is still, it'll do the job. The big boy we weren't using to dry a whole car. You shouldn't be, unless you're working on certain vehicles and in certain conditions, and it's not really ideal to try to dry a whole car with the blower. It's very time consuming, actually. It's more time consuming than using a towel. But if you're using it, we use a towel and a blower combo. And when you have those grills, when you have the, grills and wheels is in the trim is usually where these guys come into play. Spoked rims are on classic cars, stuff like that. This is when the air really, really comes. Motorcycles, that's when we use, when we usually dedicate just the blower for the drying process. But a towel is always incorporated. So the blower was one that we've kept on, and we haven't found anything better than this yet. And a lot of guys agree that this thing right here is really holding it down.
Even the guys that run, because those do work, the big blowers. Those things are big.
Yeah.
They work great. We tested a couple of them. Those work, but they're big. They're
it's
really
huge.
big.
It's
and,
huge.
You know what I mean? Being like, like this is more, it's easier. It's a trigger. You just hold it in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has taken the place of the home blower.
Oh yeah, he's just for the lawn.
So we I had the big boy, the
gas,
the gas one, and you know how that goes. Nah, man, you pull this out. This takes care. This right here. This is what you need at home.
Blow it out the studio. This is great. After a polish or something, or you just need to clean up. Just hit those floors. If you have epoxy floors in your garage, this is great. Pretty much any garage, concrete. It works really good. It's a good unit, and I recommend it. We'll leave it linked in the description. Go pick one up. They're fantastic. I love it.
Hey, it runs through batteries like crazy, so the little one's not going to cut it.
Another. And speaking of batteries, we do have the battery charger, the multi-charger for the Ryobis, and that charger you could charge 6 Ryobi batteries at once.
But it's not at once.
No, it's not at once.
It's not at once.
It'll hold 6, but it charges one at a time, so it'll go down the line. Yes, and it's slow.
I say like an hour for the big boy.
It's very slow. Yeah, so we're talking about 20 to 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour per battery on some of the batteries. So it's nice because it's all together. So it's kind of a solution to store your batteries, but just know they're not all getting charged at one time. So if I need all 6 batteries, which we never would need all 6 batteries, but if I put them all on before I went to bed, they'll be good in the morning. But don't expect that. It ain't charging like a Makita. You're not going to go from one job to the next and think it's going to be charged. We covered the air compressor, the blower, the battery charger, and we also kind of covered the perception of Ryobi and what a lot of we almost have to explain ourselves, like why we're using Ryobi when it's like whoa, because they're like you guys got all this nice stuff and you guys fucking with Ryobi. Why? And it's always because they found a solution, right? They found something where it just kind of.
I already know when we change from Ryobi, especially with the pressure washer. We're gonna be like, we should have done this a long time ago.
For sure. But it's doing it's one of those things where you don't know and you can't appreciate the quality and the durability and the performance until you've experienced it. Because every time we go somewhere, we use a Kranzla or we use an AR. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Why are we still fucking with this little Ryobi joint? But it's a goddamn tank. And I hate to just stop using a pressure washer because it's not working. I did that the other day. I tried to get another one that was more expensive and, by a brand that it's pretty, that's a whole other video.
We'll have a new pressure washer by the end of the summer.
So this here is another one that we saw my man Josh V.
Got me all hyped up. It was all
Josh
hyped
V,
up.
Keeve, a whole bunch of detailers and a whole bunch of people that like this type of gadget. Try it out. It's watering my wife's plants at the current time because with the application we wanted to use it for, it unfortunately didn't work for. We tried it with tire shine, which we wanted it with. We wanted to try it with iron remover, which is even thicker than the tire shine. So it would have been messy because you got to be unscrewing, pouring. Iron remover has a really strong smell. Like, I don't want the van. There was nowhere to place it.
It was awkward.
Trigger to me was kind of an issue. Like, what if something hits that trigger and we're driving somewhere, or it's in a bag or something, and now iron removers everywhere. So, or even if that bottom piece broke, if it detached. But this was one that some people really like. Josh had the whole setup of all the chemicals he wanted to use.
I'm waiting for
it
Josh's
with.
follow-up video. See
Right.
how it's going up.
And if you're a detailer who is using this, let us know, because some people liked it. What was the other one? The Solo?
Solo.
Yeah. This unit really didn't fit a need for us specifically. Will we try to come back to it? Maybe. I'm just not a fan of the actual form. I'm not a fan of the size. I'm not a fan of the it's awkward. And, for storage, like, there's no solution for it. And I don't want to have to accommodate something for one special little thing that does such a small piece of the pie. It's good if you're trying to spray like pesticides or water stuff. Like, it's a good tool. But again, it's not an industrial tool. This is not going to replace the air compressed.
You know what? Someone was using Crystal Wash.
Yeah, but Crystal Wash.
This would be good for someone that used Crystal Wash.
Yeah.
They like Crystal Wash, I think.
Yeah. Crystal Wash. I have my opinions about Crystal Wash too. One of the OG P&S Crystal Wash. If you guys haven't tried it, it's one of the OG decons in the game. Before all these iron and rust removers and stuff were out, there was decon wash. It's an organic acid, and it crystallizes on the surface. And it removes, it gets in there deep. Is it as good as clay? No. But is it as good as the iron removers these days? I would probably say no to that too. But it's something there for if you want a light decon wash. It's an option. It's an option.
Yeah, you can always say I deconned the car.
Now we're going to go on to something we rely on daily. That's going to be this guy here, the old 1800.
The casual like this, youngsters. Yeah, you guys haven't graduated yet.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. They're saying you guys talk all that mess and you guys are rocking with the Ryobi still. That's what this.
When the question comes up too, they're like, well, what do you guys use? Because they explain like, well, you guys say you like all the best stuff. What do you guys use?
This is the someone says, man, I just use rinseless to clean the interior. Like,
we got the OG spec gun attached to this.
Youngster.
Matt Borman's like, these guys. using my gun with the Ryobi. But again, it's one of those things where it's kind of, okay, is that really, really important to you? I like the performance of this thing. I love the durability of it. The one downside is the scream, the screech. It's a very unpleasant sound.
And it hits the marking of the big boy. We were mad at the big boy take up too much space. Mm-hmm. That was that negative. The negative of the noise is right on top.
Yes. And this thing is compact. We actually weren't using the 1800, remember? We were using the smaller one. What was the 1600?
1600. Same size, I think.
No, the 16 smaller.
Was that small?
Yeah, this one's bigger. Yeah, it's probably like 1.5 inches smaller, because the other one's like a cube. This one is more of a rectangle. So this one's bigger. It's a little bit heavier.
I don't think they make that one no more.
No, they don't. So we had used that one for a very long time, and I liked that one. And it actually, with the setup that I have, with the gravity fed system that we have in the mobile unit, and the hoses and everything we were using it with, and the gun, it was stronger than this unit here. because I felt a drop off when we switched to this guy. And the drop offs can occur for a few different reasons. You know, your setup, everything has an effect on the output. But this unit here it's been reliable. So I can't hate on it. I can't say it's a piece of shit. It's Ryobi. Yes, you know what you're getting with Ryobi. You know, and with this specific unit, I do get durability. And if you want to factor in money, which is something we normally don't like to factor in because you can't really compare something of high quality and then bring in the dollar amount. You just can't, because it's like the work that we do. You can't compare. That's like comparing, like everybody wants to, all these detailers want to start talking about, oh, well, yeah, it's a $20 car wash you drive through, but you can't compare that to a $200 detail or a $500 detail. No shit. The same way you can't compare something that costs $100 to something that costs $1,500 as far as quality and stuff. It's like, you already know there's no fucking comparison. So don't bring money into it. Like with quality shit, you just have to throw the dollar part out of the window. Yeah, like you really just have to forget about it because you're not concerned with that. What are you buying? You're buying the reliability, right? You're buying the quality. You're buying the durability. You're buying the performance. You're buying the noise level reduction. You're buying the experience. You're buying all of that shit. Maybe a warranty comes with it. Like that's what you're buying. With this, you're just buying a piece of plastic that has a questionable lifetime.
So I'm sure you guys work a lot. The guys out there work a lot more than us. So
yeah, this has saved us a few times where, you know, if we did have another unit that we were using and it went down, we could always run down to a Home Depot and pick this up.
Yeah,
which makes it a lot easier. Because even now, me searching for new pressure washers to buy, there's only a few places where I could buy them, and it's going to take, you know, maybe a couple weeks to receive it. Then I got to hook it up. I'm probably going to have to buy some attachments and fittings and stuff. The Ryobi, I don't think it's bad, but again, if you're trying to do heavier work, if you're doing fleet work, industrial work, this is not ideal. We use it for our fleet, but the fleet that we do, it's very, very light work.
You know what's coming next from Ryobi?
What's that?
A polisher.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ryobi's coming with the
and it's going to be with them big ass slow charging batteries too. So speaking of this 1800, they got a new joint out, which is the Automotive pressure washer, and it's 1.8 GPM, and everybody's loving that one. So we may buy it, test it out, and see, but I think we're graduating from Ryobi sooner than later when it comes to the pressure washer. So it's been good to us, but I'm just looking for something a little bit different. So we're pretty much we're reconfiguring everything in our mobile unit, because there's just, as you develop and you find your niche and what the type of work that you're primarily doing is, there's a lot of stuff that you really just don't need. You know, there's things that we've made big adjustments to. So we'll do a whole mobile van tour, but yeah, this thing is looking to get replaced. But it's a great unit. It's been reliable. I do notice with this guy, the fittings, you know, you don't have high quality fittings, so you get the oxidation really bad. It's just not. Again, you're using DIY tools in a professional setting.
I hope if you have this, they're changing out your gun. You're not using the gun that this comes with.
There might be some. Well, that's the Automotive one comes with the wand, with the stubby nozzle, the short one. It comes with.
Does it come with the extender?
Yeah, it comes with a couple.
The foam cannon.
Yeah, and then it comes with a couple different tips. So we see what you're doing, Ryobi, because
you're next.
Yeah, because a lot of cats are rolling with this. They said, "Yo, we might as well make one and target." And honestly, if I'm a DIYer just trying to work at my house and wash my car every once in a while, I would rather just buy the whole kit that has everything, especially if you have a truck, because it has the wand on it, that extender. You're good to go with that. You got the foam cannon, because you got to piece that together. You're spending a lot of money if you went and bought all that separately.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so Ryobi said, here you go, $150. There you go. We don't have it here in California yet. The West Coast stores, we haven't gotten it. Josh got his, but he's on the board of trustees.
Yeah, it's a little different with Josh.
Yeah. So that's it for Ryobi. We want to know what you guys are using with Ryobi. We use quite a few things.
So you still got, I'm sure guys are using drill brush. Ryobi,
oh yeah,
Ryobi drill brush.
Oh, we have the drill brush kit, the cone, the cone. We'll link that also because we have the cone set that
and I'm
we use.
sure cats use the Ryobi pressure washer for the concrete. The guys that do a little bit of everything, they have the Ryobi thing that scrubs
They even have the one for under the engines.
Yeah.
You know the underneath the cars. They have that one.
Ryobi sprayers. Yeah, you could make a whole detailing rig. Ryobi.
Yeah.
You got Ryobi generator. We had that one.
I had a Ryobi generator. Yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah, these foods
We
had all Ryobi.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I have more Ryobi than anything else. God damn. I guess you could call me a Ryobi detailer because shit, I had a lot of Ryobi. And I remember we went to one of our clients and he's an electrician and one of the guys working, he goes, you like all that Ryobi shit? And he said it like that. He goes, you like all that? And at the time I was like, what why is he dissing Ryobi like that? Why is he got to do me like that?
Youngster,
he goes, you like all that Ryobi shit? But we even have the Ryobi shelves.
Yeah.
We have Ryobi shelving. So those you can't get anymore. And that was a very good solution. So let us know about your guys' Ryobi, your Ryobi experiences and your Ryobi nightmares, because I know we all got some Ryobi nightmares. But for the most part, man, Ryobi's been good to us detailers.
Speaking for the pressure washer.
Yeah, they've given us a couple really good solutions. So thank you, Ryobi, for your contribution to detailing. So yeah, we'll be back with that as soon as the automotive one drops. We'll check it out because the GPM is not something that we're highly concerned about. But if it makes the job a little bit faster, yes, we're going to be using a little bit more water. But it's no big deal to test it out and see if we like it. Maybe we'll keep one for the studio, keep one, in the mobile rig. So, but that's it for the Ryobi video. We'll catch you guys on the next one.